The Pittsburgh Steelers make a massive move before the start of free agency, trading a second-round pick to acquire wide receiver DK Metcalf from the Seahawks, giving him a 5-year, $150 million deal in the process. And it's an exciting move, right? When you look at DK Metcalf, 4 1,100-yard-plus seasons in the NFL, 3 seasons with at least 125 yards after the catch over expectation, 4 seasons above 20 total receiving EPA, right? And his best season, of course, 2020, where he had 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. A little bit of a down year in 2024 with a lot of breakdowns in terms of the offensive line play. It wasn't all DK, but there are certainly things he can do to bounce back. And we're going to dive into the film here and take a look at why DK Metcalf's acquisition is really exciting for this Steelers offense. All right, so what are the Pittsburgh Steelers getting with DK Metcalf? Obviously, right, 6'4", 228 to 230 pounds, right? That size-speed combo is dangerous. And because of that, in a lot of off-coverage situations, right, teams are going to be scared of him winning down the field, so it's going to open things up underneath. And I think Metcalf does a pretty nice job with this, of like using that acceleration to win on a lot of these underneath. And you see that how nimble he can be, right, to make guys miss, which is something else to watch for him. But yeah, you see a lot of this, right, where corners are terrified to lose down the field. Nice work coming back to the ball. And again, these curl hitch routes, they aren't his forte necessarily, but he can win with them here. A nice little throw by for DK on this little hitch route. And again, working back to the ball, that's something we want to see for sure. Where he really thrives is against press coverage, right? The ability to quickly win with footwork, but also win, with his hands, right? Swipe away that contact and then using that speed and acceleration to quickly stack, right? If teams are going to come up and try to disrupt him off the line of scrimmage, they're going to make mistakes, right? Excellent swat there and an easy win down the field because, again, that size. And when you have good technique with your hands like that, it's a very dangerous combo against press coverage. And then great release here to the inside, gets the defender to bite quickly, and you have a win on the slot fade down the field. And again, double moves, obviously, another big part of this, right? Peek inside there, little sluggo route, and once the defender commits, right, DK's ability to keep that speed when transitioning is a major reason why he can win on these, right? Little nice move there, using his head and shoulders to work to the inside, get that defensive back to bite, and create a big play. And so he's also pretty sudden, right? And I don't think that he gets enough credit for it, but you see the suddenness to win like little outbreakers like this, which is something that Pittsburgh can obviously incorporate if they would like to. This is a really nice one where you see him win with tempo, right? He's coming off the line of scrimmage a lot slower, but then you see that little late vertical pressure there that wins the rep for him on an outbreaking route. One more time, just because I think it's so good, because you have to respect that pressure because you know how quickly he can accelerate and you don't want to lose down the field. You'd much rather keep him in front of you, right underneath. And again, another spot where I think Pittsburgh's going to be able to, thrive with DK as a part of the offense is a lot of these in-breakers in the intermediate areas of the field where he can catch it and accelerate, right? Accelerate through the catch point, and then he's off to the races for big plays. And because he's so good, a nice job rounding it off, but it's a good enough speed cut where he stays tight to the line like this. It's really beneficial for your offense, not to mention, right, the size, the ability to handle collisions over the middle of the field, right? Nice hesitation move at the top of that route to pretty much give himself a massive window. And, right, we already talked about how good he is against press. So is stem contact going to bother him on these intermediate in-breakers? Of course not. Easy swipe through contact, and he's won the route with little issue. And here against Surtain in the slot, right? Extension, hey, commit OPI if you got it, and win, and a really nice snag over the middle of the field, a good hands catch there. So you have that ability with him to win over the middle of the field. Again, go elevate, survive that contact, and create some big plays. And here, this is, I think, a little more route nuance to his game, right? Defensive backs on your hip, you release to the outside, and what do? Right? Head and shoulders, peek to the outside, gets the defender to commit because he's in your hip pocket and he has to, and then it opens it up over the middle of the field, and a nice job going low to catch that ball. And he, again, the suddenness, the ability to decelerate, it's not always there on the curl routes, but this is a really nice comeback route there. And again, first man miss, which is really good. And here, I absolutely adore this rep from DK, right? We got 2 high shell here. And what Metcalf does so well is he's going to work to try to stack this defender, 1. And 2, pretty much create enough pressure where he's going to, work himself out of this play, essentially, because DK's so fast and because he's threatening to the outside. And what that also does is it gets the safety to commit more to the outside, and it opens up what he wants to be opened up here, is the middle of the field. Geno knows it. They're on the same page. Pressure, right, head and shoulders, everything telling you he's breaking to the corner. And what do? Maintain speed on that transition and leave the field wide open for a touchdown. Really, really love that from him. And some of the catch point stuff, obviously really, really good too, right? Low and behind him. Great catch. And sometimes you can just throw it up to him, like Geno does here, right? Elevate, a great ball, first of all. And then the ability and wherewithal to know where you're at on the sideline and keep both feet in bounds. Here, a really nice job. Body control, right? Turn and adjust. Really good extension. And both feet down at the line there. Really, really impressive catch. Again, stacking down the field, but also a little bit of tracking work here. Make sure he's walled off at the catch point and just let the ball travel in. Really, really nice. Adjust his pace on top of it. So really good. And then some late separation here with a little bit of extension, physicality, and then also really good coordination, hand-eye coordination there. Late hands to catch that one for a touchdown. And here a nice one against Sauce Gardner. Release and obviously swipe through to win. Work to stack, right? Get him back in your hip pocket. Late hands, right? Ball's on the money. You don't have to show your hands and let the defensive back have a chance to make the play at the catch point. So really nice there. And then you're going to obviously work him over the middle of the field on some of these drag routes if you want to, because he can erase angles. He's got that acceleration, and he's going to create big plays that way as well. Here, really nice little pressure step. If you missed it, I'll go back just a little here, because again, it's very subtle. Pressure step, DB has to freeze, and he's wide open over the middle field. Again, really nice job on that low throw there. And again, one more thing about DK that's really nice is he sees Geno Smith under duress, right? Work to find space, second reaction play, help your quarterback out. Really nice. Find space against zone coverage. Now, there is a little bit of stuff at the catch point that I do want to bring up. Ball security is another one of those things, right? He has fumbled quite a bit, so he has to work on making sure he takes care of the ball. And then there are some of these, right? He loves to attack low with his hands at the catch point, and it doesn't fail him here against the Eagles, right? Because he can survive that contact, right? And he's really, really good at surviving contact. However, we will show another one later where you would like to see him attack more. And here, a great catch initially, but tuck that away. Don't let the defensive back, be able to make a play on you. And here's the one. Here's the one where I'm talking about. This is where you need to attack the catch point. Don't let the ball come to you. Go get the ball. Because this is what happens, right? Defender gets back into it. You're trying to catch this underhanded into your frame, and it's an incomplete pass because you didn't go after it. Again, another fumble here, right? So the ball security is something that must be cleaned up. And then here, a couple things that are strange about this, right? You're working over the middle on this in-breaker, and I'm not sure why we're drifting down the field here, because you've won this already. You have leverage. You work over the middle. There's nobody working back into you here. It's not a look where any defensive back's going to be poaching this throw. So I'm not sure why he's drifting down the field, and it leads to an interception. And then it happens again here. Once again, I don't really see anybody working into this area to make a play where you need to adjust path at all. And it makes things so much more difficult. So that is something with him that must be cleaned up. And again, obviously, when you're that big and that fast, you're not necessarily going to be able to gear down super quickly at times, and it shows for sure, but we want to race back to the catch point now. Don't invite the defender back in. Race back to the catch point. Don't let him have a chance to make a play. So DK Metcalf does so much well. You see, I think, more route nuance, right, as a route runner, the suddenness, the ability to throw an extra pressure, right, and the work to find some space that you really like. He's going to win big over the middle of the field. He's going to win deep down the field. He's going to defeat press. And so if we work on some of the other catch point stuff and ball security, I think the Steelers do have their wide receiver one here in DK Metcalf, and that's what makes it so exciting, right? Whether Pickens stays or not, like DK does give the Steelers more of an element over the middle of the field that I think they've been lacking in that passing game, not to mention, of course, the explosiveness. So I hope you guys enjoy this one on DK Metcalf. If you did, throw a like down there. Subscribe if you're new. Plenty more film room draft content on the way very, very soon. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Farewell.